Gourav mentioned, I'm doing my internship at MIT currently, and I've submitted two papers for publication in Astrophysical Journal and monthly notices of Royal Astronomical Society. And apart from that, I'm working towards submitting another paper in a conference, American Geophysical Conference, that will happen in December, from December 12 to 16. So that's a bit about me. And regarding how to get into internships at these top universities, like in your second year or before starting your third year. So basically, what I did in my first year, I was mostly, before joining college, my interest was evolving around physics and chemistry, but I was not sure which one to decide, because ultimately astrochemistry and astrophysics, they were kind of looking similar to me. So I did not have a particular idea how to go about, how to read stuffs, and how to, like, mail professors and all. So there's a guy you might all be knowing, Anshuman Acharya, who is doing his PhD at Max Planck now. So he's my main motivation behind whatever I'm doing now. So he taught me a lot of things, like how you should, after joining your first year in college, how you should go about things, how you should read stuff if you are trying to go beyond your coursework, what the process should be, because he had done his courses offline. So and that's a difficult thing. For me, it was online the first year, so I got more time to explore my whatever, explore more stuff, and read some more papers. So the most important thing was kind of reading research papers and getting an idea about where my interest lies. People say that from your first year you should not be rigid and you should try to explore more stuff. But ultimately, as you move forward in your third year, where you'll be applying to a lot of places like my tax, DAD, and all, so you have to write a particular statement of purpose. So in that, you have to be very specific in what you want to pursue. If you don't write that, the professor won't get an idea what you want to work on. So basically, in my first year, I interned with Dr. Shantanu Manna from IIT Indore, who was working on earthquake statistics. And then I worked under Dr. Abhadev Habib and Nisha Rani from Miranda House, University of Delhi. That was on astrophysics, basically. So both those projects helped me get an idea where my interest lies, and should I be going with something which has more statistical analysis and then astrophysics too. So
So
that's
Shashwat,
why
I think
before
we will
inter-
be taking up questions, so you can describe your journey
yeah,
in
sure,
detail.
sure.
So let
Yeah,
us,
sure.
go with the question answer session, and if we have time, we will
Yeah,
also listen to you in detail. Okay,
yeah, sure.
Astha,
Sure.
you can begin with the first question. She is our panelist for today.
Yeah,
Good morning, Bhaiya.
yeah.
Beginning with the most basic question, which I think deserves some thoughts. Tell us what is an internship actually is, and especially in context of an UG internship.
Yeah, so internship, if I have to give, it's a very subjective, it can be a very subjective answer. Like, there are two types of internship: you have in academia and then you have in corporate. And I think both are different things. Research internship, basically for you, it's kind of going beyond your coursework, trying to explore something which interests you, which you want to pursue after you complete your bachelor's. Undergraduate degree in general, it's kind of like, you can say, you gain some sort of skills, you gain a bunch of skills, and then you go forward, you do your graduate studies, and then you kind of become more and more specific in what you're doing. So internships help you get an idea about how you should go about things, what you should specifically focus on. It helps you gain ideas of whether you should go what you are thinking. Like, if I come in first year and I say that, okay, I'm interested in astrophysics, but you don't know which, the astrophysics also has, is a broader domain. There are a lot of subparts inside it. So whether I should go for stellar dynamics, or whether it should be related to gamma ray burst or supernova or anything. So internships help you get an idea whether I should go for this particular topic or no. I don't think I can go further with this, so I have to kind of rethink what I had thought about whether going to this one. And corporate internships, it's more like you want to apply your skills and all, and then get into companies. So I don't have much idea about corporate, but yeah, research internships is basically about getting a proper idea about what you want to pursue as you move forward in your studies after bachelor's.
Moving on, should undergraduate students wait till their second year to apply for internships? Because the students might not have enough information or knowledge to apply prior. Or do
Yeah.
you think that students should apply right at the end of the first year itself? What is your opinion? Just tell us.
So I would suggest, this is a personal opinion, like most people prefer to, start wait till third year and then apply. So, but for me, it's like at the end of your first year, you should try at least a minimum requirement is a reading project under someone from your institute or someone from outside. So basically, I mean, you are doing your coursework, that's okay, but some if you are liking, let's say, astrophysics, and you don't have courses in your first year itself, you have mechanics course and you have quantum mechanics and all. So if you want to gain an insight of how good my knowledge is and I want to explore something, so it's better you do a reading project or an internship. Even if you do an internship, the first thing the professor will ask you to is to read a paper and to understand it, because reading a paper is also an important aspect of in an internship. So I would suggest to do it, because the more you focus on doing those things parallelly with your semester, that will also help you, keep an and one part of your mind will have that idea that okay, I have this particular research interest. When you apply in your third year, when you select projects, or when you in DART or Chalk Park, you have to mail professors, you will have a clear thought that okay, I want to mail this professor, I have this idea in my mind. That will help a lot. So I mean, that's why I suggest you should start doing it from first year itself.
Right. Okay.
You are majoring in data science with a minor in physics. Tell us how internship in corporate, say in Microsoft, is different from a 2 month internship in computer science in IIT Kanpur.
Yeah, so I applied for a research internship in Microsoft in my first year. So the difference was that first we had to, upload our resume. First they shortlist your resume. After that they have a online assessment. After that they have a telephonic interview, and then the main interview that happens in Bangalore or Hyderabad, I think. So regarding the how it is different from a computer science internship at IIT Kanpur. At IIT Kanpur, you will be working with a professor who is more into academia, and in corporate, if you go into Microsoft and for research internship, you will be working with someone who has more industry level experience as compared to the professor at IIT Kanpur. The professor at IIT Kanpur is more like he will have an idea about how to publish papers, how to think of new ideas. But here in corporate, it will be more like they will have some kind of a problem. I think the people who are using MS Word or Microsoft, whatever apps that Microsoft gives us, they have some problem with that, or some using some machine learning technique to kind of address this issue. In IIT Kanpur, it will be something different. You have to first read a research paper, and then your professor will tell you, okay, tell me what you learned from it and how you would go about it. Anything new is coming to your mind or not? Are you able to develop that intuition about the particular paper that I gave you? But I don't think in Microsoft they do that. It's more like, you that's why they take from third year people. So you have some kind of a basic background in, let's say, data structure algorithms, and then they give you questions on that, you solve real life problems. So I think that's the main difference. The key is that here you some read first and then you apply. So but what I have heard, that's how it goes. You have to have some basic background in, let's say, because I went till the third round. After that, I was not able to qualify. So, but what I have heard, that's how it goes. You have to have some basic DSA background, which they ask in your interviews, and you apply those concepts. That's it.
Mhm. All right. So, when we are going to apply for internships, what is your understanding that what should one's profile look like? Like, there should be very exceptional grades, or should you have some
Yeah,
programming knowledge or background or certification? Because, a fresher or
yeah,
an undergraduate does not have many things to boast about. So,
yeah,
what should the profile look like? Which
yeah,
is, I think, a very
yeah,
important question.
yeah. So if you're in the first year and you're applying for an internship, let's say your best chance is that, let's say you are mailing a professor. So the best thing is that if you can write your CV properly, what you have achieved in your high school, like 11th and 12th, and then if you have taken part in some competitions, some science exhibitions and all, that will help. But I think the thing that will make you unique from other people who are in their first year and they are also applying to the same professor is your statement of purpose. It should not be very specific, because until then you don't have any idea what you want to do. But still you might have some idea that okay, I have to do these things I want to. You can write it elaborately in your SOP. So that, I think, helps you to kind of, professor reads your email properly. And if you don't have that, because people do send their CVs and all, But SOP is something that differentiates you from the rest of the people, because professor, if he reads that, then if obviously we'll get an idea, okay, this guy is motivated to do research, and I think if I supervise him, then he can get a better understanding of what he wants to do. Currently he just has the raw material, but we have to refine and give him a better perspective of how he wants to go about.
Right.
So yeah, grades is one thing. Like now the semesters are offline. So if you have a good CPI after your first year, let's say after your second semester ended and you are applying, so that also helps. But that is not a that's a very small parameter. As you move forward, you will understand that that's a very small parameter. What differentiates you is your letter of motivation and what your referees tell about you, academic references that you have. So
Yeah.
Moving on, how many internships should one pursue during undergraduate studies? Is there a limit to exploration?
No, I don't think there's a limit to exploration, but there's no specific number of internships you should do. I mean, whenever you're getting a chance to explore, getting some free space, I think you should work under some professor. It can be from your own institute or from outside, because parallelly, when you're doing your offline semesters, you have your evenings and all, you can spend time with a professor from your institute and try to work on something, or else have an online meet with a professor and discuss from outside. If you're working with someone from outside of the universities, like I have my meetings at night 2 a.m. also. So I mean, you should do it. Once you get some free space, you should definitely pursue which interests you. That will help you. Helps you in the long run, getting an idea about what I want to do. You work in a diverse community. That helps you to grow also, because the problems in India, like your CV matters a lot, but if you go abroad and you work in a group, proper group where there are PhD people, there are master students, and there are UG also, you get to learn a lot how to approach a particular problem, what mindset should you have, and all that. So there's no limit to that. You should always pursue internships. That's really important. Experience is something that professors need. When you're writing for your PhD, applying for a PhD, experience, research potential, experience, these matter a lot, because do not care what the hell you have got a 10 or gold medal or a CPI 10 on 10. That is not going to help the professor, because ultimately a professor want to publish papers, represent them in conferences, make posters and all. So for that he needs a good candidate who has that experience, and that's why you should do internships.
Mhm. Right. Several institutes like IIT Delhi, IISER, Kolkata, Bhopal, Indian Academy of Sciences, they have a centralized internship portal, which opens up during the summer
Yeah,
or
yeah,
winter. But many institutes, including
yeah,
IIT Bombay, IISc, Raman Research Institute, and all, they do not have such portals. And the process
yeah,
becomes very hazy due to that. What is your recommendation,
yeah,
or
yeah.
what are the steps you recommend in terms of applying to those places which do not have an internship portal?
Yeah, so as far as I know, for IISc, they have this internship program for, I think, electrical engineering students. There's this CENSE program that they have.
Right, right. Mhm.
As far as I know, there's a research internship award program that is there, they conduct. Apart from that, I don't think they have. But if you are really interested to work in these two institutes,
Mhm.
what one of my friends did, he just mailed a professor, and the professor was free, so he took him in and he interned at IIT Bombay this summer.
Mhm.
So the best thing for to pursue there is mail a professor with your CV and a statement of purpose. If you are in your first year or second year, write a statement of purpose, because that's very important. Because people in third year also, while writing the SOP, do make grammatical mistakes. I don't know why. So they do make grammatical mistakes. If you want to avoid them, it's better to write email, how to write an email, how to write a CV. There are a lot of templates on Overleaf you can use. And for motivation letter, you should start writing, because the more you write, the better you become. The better, okay, I these mistakes while writing this one, I should not do this. I should keep these things in mind, and maybe talk with a senior who can go through that SOP and tell you that these things are not right. You should discard them. So the best thing is that, because if I'm mailing to these professors, they are really busy at IIT Bombay and IISc. So it's better you be proper, give your 100% and write properly, explain everything in a detailed manner so that they can understand. And I think that they will take, because one of my friends just mailed a professor from IIT Bombay, as I mentioned, and he got there. So it's possible.
what is the success rate in mailing? Like 2 in 10 or 2 in 20? What's the rate?
Yeah, so in India, the success rate depends on how your CV is,
Yeah,
how many achievements you have, and all that. In US or in Europe also, it's different. It's your SOP. With the better it is, the better chances you have. So if I say that I mail 5 professors from Germany with a CV and an SOP, then the chances that 2 professors will reply you without you sending a reminder. So
okay.
after your first email, they will reply you in 3-4 days. That's my
Okay.
personal experience, because in DARD you have to mail professors so that you get a supervisor. So if you mail 5 professors, 2 or 3 will surely reply back to you. Whether it's a positive response or negative response, that depends on them, the availability, but they will surely reply you
Yeah.
back. But minimum 2 people will say yes. That's for sure. In India, if you come to India, then your CV, SOP will add value. But what I have felt that CV is something that adds more weightage in India. In US, they hardly care about that. They look for motivation and how good the background, basically the skills are. Whether if this project demands you to code in Python, to know you these libraries and this theoretical background, if that guy has it and he has a good amount of motivation, then just take him in. That's it.
Right. Yep.
In India, you have to mail, like if you mail 10 professors and you have a okay CV, then you will get a 2 or 3. That's it. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's the
And no
kind of
negative response
success rate in India.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead. Yep. Astha.
Tell us something about reading projects.
Yeah, so reading projects are basically you try to read books or research papers, and then finally, once you finish doing them, you present it in front of your professor. Reading projects, like it can be the professor can give you a big 300-page book to read in 3 months, or he can give you like 3-4 research papers or 5-6 research papers to read and understand them. So reading project basically, it's kind of like gives an idea, like theoretical perspective, what is the maths behind that is going on. If it is chemistry, you come to know about like what are the methods and all that. So reading project is basically you don't have to code, you don't have to write any kind of programs and all. You just try to get an idea about the topic, what are the open problems inside this topic, and then finally you present it to a professor. The professor might ask you in the end that did you find any open questions that can be answered through this whatever you have read till now. So in brief, that's how it's all about, like reading research papers and some books that your college professors don't prescribe you, but your guide tells you that you should read this.
Yeah. Just on that reading project thing, like what are the institutes in India which are much more, willing to take students for that? Like, are there any specific institutes? What do you think?
So as far as I'm one of my juniors at IISER Kolkata, he got a reading project at NISER.
Okay.
So the IISER Mohali, that's one institute. I think Professor Jasjit Bagla, you might be knowing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He is very
Astrophysics.
passionate. Yeah, he's very passionate about taking people for reading projects also who are in the first year or
Okay.
even in the second year. Apart from that, I think IITs, I would say the new generation IITs, Ropar and Mandi, they do take. And IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, IISc, these all, it depends a lot on your luck. The professor should be free, because for professor also they want to take people who will work on something, maybe write a code or maybe help them in publishing a paper. So
Yeah.
they look for those kind of people. In reading projects, they have to kind of sit with the child and explain him these all the terminologies
Yeah.
and all the definition and all.
Yeah.
So
So,
they don't want to do that. They want uh, the student to kind of learn these things on his own and then
do some
come to
productive
them for
work.
an internship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think mid-level IITs or new IITs, third generation, and then the IISERs, NISERs, they are passionate to take people for reading projects.
Okay, so we see a long list of internships that you have done. Okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
since it is more or less about all theory and simulations, so it
yeah,
was
yeah,
possible for you. Now, tell us something about people who are inclined towards experimental and engineering stuff. Like, what would they have
yeah.
done? Would they have done so many projects, or that could have been cut short?
For experiment, the fact is, like if you work in computational astrophysics, which demands more of programming and all, you can sit with a laptop at your home, at your hostel, anywhere, and you can do the work. for experimental people to get more internships, it's difficult because you have to come to the lab and you have to do the experiments and all, take the readings. Without that, it won't work out, even for instrumentation people.
Right, right.
So it's better that you find time in your summer or in your winter break also. You will get 1 month. Maybe spend 20 days in your winter, and then summer you can spend your entire holiday going into a lab and working. Because
Right, right.
who are not willing, those are proper, like, who take very less number of students, they will just say, if you want to do experimental work cannot happen online. There's no, you can't just watch videos on YouTube and just understand it. They won't help. So professors will suggest you to kind of mail them in summer or in winter so that you can work. So it becomes difficult for experimental people because, yeah, you have to go to the lab and do it. Online is not going to help.
Right, right. Okay, Astha, go ahead.
Are are professors more interested in working with long-term students? Please elaborate on that one.
Yes, so if you are in your first year or second year, professors know that this guy can't write a paper with me. He has to first understand the topic well. So they're happy to supervise you for 2 or 3 months. That's it. But if you're a third year student or a fourth year student, and from your side you tell the professor that I want to work long term and I want to publish papers, then they are happy to take you for that, because then what happens is that you are able to work in a group of people. There are PhD students and there's your supervisor, so you can do the stuffs quickly and make some simulations and also ultimately you can get a paper. The fact with first year second year students is that professors don't take them for long term because they are not properly mature to do those stuff. They are kind of in the learning stage. Third year fourth year, the professors do expect that this guy knows what he wants to do in the future. Third year, I mean, he's doing a major in this particular subject, let's say physics, and a minor in some other thing. So he knows that what he wants, a particular topic might be there in physics, like quantum mechanics. He might be want to pursue in that. So I should take this guy as a long-term basis. Maybe he can write a paper and then his bachelor's thesis with me. So second year or first year, I don't think long-term they will accept. It depends on you. So, but still,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So on that question, adding on, so generally in 4 year degree programs, you see the last semester is entirely, it is open if the student
Yeah,
wants to do a project, research project.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that offers a good chance, and I think professors are also willing to devote and accept students if they are going to work for 4 or 5 months. What's your opinion on
Yeah, yeah.
the final year research project?
So yeah, so for me also it's the same thing. Like my last semester is completely free. So that is kind of, you find a supervisor from outside, and one will be a host supervisor in your own college, and you can write your bachelor's thesis. So I think that's a good thing, and that actually helps you. Maybe that bachelor's thesis can come out as a good publication also. You
Yeah,
never
sure.
know. So if that can come out, then it will really boost your master's application and then obviously your PhD applications. And having someone from outside, working under someone from outside, that helps you to build a connection with him and his research group, so that they can recommend you even further during a master's, and they can help you connect with more people. And along with that, if you want referees, you don't have to run in with your college professors for reference. You will have someone from outside who
That's
has a better position and get that reference letter, which will help you a lot. So
yeah, sure, sure. So Astha, go ahead with the final question.
Finally, tell us the do's and do nots when it comes to applying for internships.
yes, so when you're applying for internship, you should be first of all motivated. You should be mentally prepared that if the professor says me a yes, I should have 6 months plan that I will work dedicated with him, dedicated, and I won't kind of give excuses that sir, I have this mid semester exam and this end semester exam. Obviously professors do consider that, okay, exams are important, but you should have completed the work beforehand, so that during that mid semester, if you slow down, you will obviously slow down, but that should not hamper the overall progress of the work. So this is one thing, and be genuine, be honest. If you are not able to understand something, just ask the professor. There's no need to be scared if I say that I'm not understanding, or he will be angry with me and all. Don't, when you're mailing, be very specific. Filter out professors rather than mailing thousands of people. It's better to mail 10 people with a good draft, with a proper CV and a nice SOP, and those people should be working from different colleges, but they should be working on the same thing that you are interested in, so that you don't have to kind of change again your SOP. So that will be the same, but you should be specific in what you want to do. So that is one thing. Don't mail just randomly 1,000 professors, because ultimately you will suffer. If you do a project under someone, you are not interested in quantum mechanics, and he gives you this Schrodinger equation, you don't know how to solve this Schrodinger equation also. So that will be kind of a mess. The professor will, he will not be happy with that. So be legitimate and be honest with what you are doing.
So I think we
That's
come to
one
an
thing.
end from our questionnaire and the list is over. I think the audience which is here present will be able to ask you some questions. So
Yeah,
members
sure.
from the audience, if you have any questions, please go ahead. You can
What
turn
should
on.
a
Yeah,
decent
sure.
email or
Zed,
SOP
yeah.
look like to get an internship properly?
Yeah.
What should I mention? Like, I don't have any experience in internships.
Yeah. So basically, when you're writing a mail, first thing is you will introduce yourself, what you are doing, and then the second paragraph should be, you should briefly mention your research interests, what topics you are like. After that, just write a bit about these are the questions that you have in your mind and you want to work on these topics. That will help the professor get an idea that okay, this guy is interested in astrophysics, and then in astrophysics he is interested in supernova, and this is the question that he has in his mind and he can work on this. Rest, your statement of purpose that you will write in your email, that will do the rest of the thing, that will give a more detailed idea to the professor that okay, this guy has a detailed explanation that in 6 months he wants to work on this particular problem, and that will be enough, I think, because once you write properly in your email in those 10 lines that this is my research interest, these are the questions I have in my mind, professor will go forward and he will read your SOP. You will not kind of just ignore the email, and you should write a proper subject also, that you should mention request for research internship on this particular topic under your guidance, like that. Your subject, what you give in your email, that is also a very important thing, because professors get hundreds of emails every day in their inbox for internships, and in US they get payment for even replying also. So that's why so this is the scenario with
When did
there
that
was one
start?
professor from in UC Santa Barbara. There's a
Okay.
professor who was in the
Yes.
ECH department.
Oh,
So he was working on distributed algorithms, on which I worked with my IIT Ropar guide. So he was working on that one. So he told me, Shashwat, I don't have time. So I told him I was free during the summer and all. So he told me, Shashwat, that no, but we are paid for replying a no also to a particular college, or he's from an international student. So that's why we reply to all the emails. But I'm sorry that I cannot take you at this
okay.
time. So, but he read my email because the subject was like, okay, I want a research internship on this particular topic. So, like, it's like if you want to get a no also from a professor, your subject should be good. So, like, subject defines a lot how whether your professor will open that email or not. Because every day, hundreds of emails reading, going one by one, it's very difficult.
So what should be
So
the ideal
have a
subject
good
line?
subject and then be. It can be like you want request for a certain internship on this particular topic under your guidance. That's the most simple one you can write. They will open it, and once they see that you have a SOP attached also, they will surely read that. That's a sure case in US or in Europe. They will surely read your SOP. But in India, they will also see your CV. Yeah, I mean they will see it very like in a detailed manner. They will go one by one. But in US, Europe, they will read your SOP in a very detailed manner, and then they will see what skills you have. That's it.
Zed, does that answer your question? Okay. Anyone else who wants to ask? Can go ahead.
I actually want to ask that what is the time frame in which the internships are open, and when should we apply for that?
So basically, in your summertime, you have your there are programs like if you this is September now, right? So in October, November, you will have those applications opening for the international as well as Indian universities. Some like IIT Kanpur, this internship at IIT Roorkee is there. So they open up like in January or February, I think. So during
IIT
that time you
Kanpur
can
opens
like
very
that
late,
is
in
the
fact. Yeah.
yeah
IIT Kanpur opens up very late. IIT Kanpur Search program. It opens in late March,
yeah
April, so quite late. Yeah.
yes they give us less time to also
Mm-hmm.
apply too.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think Spark, but you should be like from October to till January or February you should be very alert because these 4 5 months all the application portal opens and you should be alert and apply to all these internships. And if you are mailing a professor, then Monday 10 a.m. is the best time to kind of deliver the message. They will just reach their office, and once they open their Gmail, they will see your email at the top. So that's it.
Dhruv, you have any more questions?
Okay. No, that's
So,
Yeah.
hello, hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a doubt about DRDO. So, when we are applying for DRDO in winter sections, so there are some laboratories which are restricted to us. How do
Yeah.
I know which are restricted and which are not restricted for the internship?
I think you can go to the website and check it out. Maybe if you go to the website, there will be people, officials who might be working in that particular lab, right? So maybe if they might have given the email IDs also. If you get that email ID, then directly you can ask the professor that whether I can apply or not. If he says yes, then you should go for it and fill the application form.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Other people from the audience who want to ask questions, please go ahead.
And applying for internship should be
and
only
also,
for
and also,
winter and summer, or
See, like if you want to work parallel, because for me, like after coming out after my class after 7:30, I like working on my project, spending time with them because they help me to remove my frustration the entire day. So if you want to work parallelly, that will really help you. But like it depends on you if your
so
work.
getting for a first internship, it is possible to get first internship in the middle of the semester.
Yeah, it's possible, but if your professor says you a yes, then he will surely ask that how much amount of time you can devote in a particular day. So you have to be very careful whether you can give 2 hours or 3 hours per day. You have to be very specific because professors also have a very short amount of time to supervise you because they will always have once in a week you will have to meet with the professor and discuss what you have worked on. So you should be very specific that I can give 3 hours per day and we can meet on this particular day, depending on his or her and your schedule. So yeah.
Syed, I think you have one more question. You can ask.
yeah,
Okay, go ahead. Ask.
just forgotten everything.
Okay, forgot your question. No problem. Anyone else who wants to ask a question, please go ahead. Okay, I think people are not asking questions, so let me add a
So,
question. Yeah, he remembers. Yep, go ahead.
so for applying for the international institutes for internship, so can we also make it to the offline, or do they allow us to
Yeah,
do
sure.
experiments? In,
So there are two types of thing. Like there's one personal funding that you receive from the professor specifically, and there's another funding that you receive from the fellowship that the summer program in let's say in Yale University or somewhere. So if you apply to that particular program and you get selected, then the college will see your accommodation and all that. And if there's another part which is the personal funding where the professor like helps you in coming financially, he helps you in living in US or in UK or in Europe. So these are the two things. If like your work is very good and the professor likes your work, then only he will be ready to personally fund you, and he should also have time to supervise you. Like for me, what happened is that when I told my professor at MIT for summer to come to MIT, he was like, there are already a lot of people there who are working offline, so they have a lot of constraints on their own people. So that was his idea. Then he said, if the paper is published, then I can surely come to MIT and give a talk on that. So that's how it goes. If they are ready, if they have the time, they will surely help you in getting the personal funding. But apart from that, you should apply through the programs, because professors, it depends on how much good you work, how well you are working, how your progress is. Then only the professor will be ready. But if you apply to the program, write a good SOP, and you have a good background, then you will, if you get selected, the college will handle it, your financial expenses and all.
I think Azid, that answers your question. Okay. Anyone else who wants to ask?
Yeah.
Okay, I think no one else has to ask a question. So tell us something about this DARD-wise and Charpak program and the application dates and the procedures, because that's coming around the corner,
Yeah,
right?
so I think Chatpak will surely open like in, I think, first week of October, or I think second week. That's the deadline. And DARD, I think it has already opened. I think they are having some issues with the application form. That's why it's not opening. That's what they told me. The DARD office told me. But I think it will open in the next few days. So you should check on that. Apart from that, I think there are certain colleges other than like these two programs. MyTax is already open, so most of you might have applied to that. And there are colleges in like UK. You can, like, there's this Cardiff University and other, like the University of Edinburgh in Scotland, Glasgow. They have their own internship programs. So maybe you should check out the department pages. Like if you are in computer science, you should go there. They have departments also have the separate internship programs. So you should check out the departments and then apply through that. But I think it will take time, because these kind of departmental internship programs, they open it in November or December, I think. And that closes in February, and the results are announced in March or April, so that people can come in May and stay till July in the summer, and then.
MyTax is this 3 month program, right? As far as I remember.
Yeah,
So
MyTax is more student friendly as compared to DART or Charpak, because in DART, Charpak, you have to search for a professor. He should give you a consent, and then you have to upload a lot of documents.
yeah,
So yeah, MyTax is more student friendly.
more channelized. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else from the audience, if they are having question, ask, or we will close the session uh, very soon. Yeah. I think no one else has a question. So, if I have consensus, then we can conclude the session for today. So, it was very nice talking to you, Shashwat. You cleared a lot of doubts and questions from people. And this is especially important because people have a very fancy notion about what internships is or thing. But if you are doing an online offline internship at the institute, then you know that after reading a thick fat book, maybe you read for 30 minutes and then sleep for 1 hour. That's what happens. So sometimes that's a very slow progress that happens initially, but once one gets used to it, one will enjoy the thing. So that's the story about internships presented by Shashwat Sourav. You can reach out to him perhaps on your email address. If you can put it in the chat box if you want to respond to students, or you can
Sure.
connect with Shashwat on LinkedIn as well. He is quite active on LinkedIn, and he will try helping you out if he can. So that's Shashwat's email address. So thank you for joining, Shashwat. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Bye.
My pleasure. Thank you. Bye.